Get ready to time travel back to the 70s aboard the Orca for a bloodless, comedic, behind-the-scenes look at the making of an iconic blockbuster. Let's welcome David Mandel and R.W. Smith, core ensemble with Pure Theater, in the critically acclaimed The Shark is Broken. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
The Shark is Broken, of course, based on the making of the iconic film Jaws, which I had never heard of this play until you. So tell us a little bit more about this play and what it sets out to accomplish.
Right. So it's the 50th anniversary of the release of Jaws this year.
A half century ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the three main actors from Jaws are stuck on a boat and forced to get real. Kind of like
Get real.
The real world, right?
Or, below deck, or I don't know what one of those.
It's way better than Below Deck.
Yeah.
David, who do you play?
I play Richard Dreyfuss.
You got the nasal. Yeah, you got that. Yeah.
And I'm playing Roy Scheider, the sheriff. Obviously, a lot more makeup and wigs and such.
Sure.
But what's great about this script is it really goes. It shows behind the scenes. You know, filming is not as glamorous as it looks. There's a lot of sit around and wait, and so these three actors were literally stuck on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
And having to, like you said, and it was this sort of elder statesman and Robert Shaw and Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss really weren't that big yet, so they were learning from each other about, you know, the acting world at that time.
And how it just launched their careers after that. It's a cult classic. People love this movie. Yeah. Newer generations as well. And when you talk about people being stuck out on a boat, contrary to popular opinion, Jaws was not actually filmed on the back lot of Universal Studios. So where was it filmed?
It was filmed off the coast of Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, okay.
And Richard Dreyfuss did not enjoy Martha's Vineyard.
Really?
Did not like the clam chowder.
Is that right?
People.
Some of the lines from the show here. Yeah.
An acquired taste on both accounts, right? Yeah. And this was all created. So it actually finished its Broadway run in New York. It's currently playing in the UK and of course here in the Southeast. Is this its premiere
This
here
is
in the
the regional premiere.
It is.
Southeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did this all come about? Why did someone decide, you know, behind the scenes comedic take on the filming of Jaws was something to be done?
Well, it wasn't just somebody. It was Robert Shaw's son, Ian, who found a journal of his father's and was inspired, and also kind of looked in the mirror and thought that he looked like him, and he's an actor and wanted to play his father and kind of send a love letter to his dad and to fans of the movie. And
yeah, I mean, no, it is a love letter to Jaws. I mean, this is this first blockbuster, summer blockbuster. Spielberg was not Spielberg yet.
Right,
you know, this sort of launched him. And of course, I mean, The Shark is Broken, it's a great title, but it is, I mean, realistically, that's what happened. The shark was broken. And so
it wasn't a real shark.
Yeah, right, exactly.
several. They were called Bruce, after Spielberg's lawyer.
Right, which is why The Shark and Nemo.
Now and again, don't we?
Yeah, so The Shark and Nemo was named Bruce because of the shark in Jaws. Yeah.
A lot of really interesting trivia to come out of this too.
Right.
And when I say it's a cult classic, I mean, 50 years later, and we're still talking about Jaws. And it launched so much for the film industry. I mean, certainly for the individual careers of the actors and the directors and everybody else, but also in terms of using technology and just the idea of creating just such a scary situation that now, to this day, people are afraid to get into the ocean because of that movie.
People were afraid to get in the pool.
Yes.
After this movie.
I was one of them.
Yes, exactly.
So. I was one of them, and with the show being set in a boat, was that challenging at all? You know, I personally, I love plays where there's just so few actors that it's really just the core of two interactions.
Well, then you will love Shark is Broken.
Yes,
good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So literally, it is just...
It's just the three.
There's half a boat right there on stage.
And there's some off-camera voices. You hear Steven Spielberg, you hear the camera guy, assistant director, all those kind of...
I think it also kind of makes me think of David Mamet's work, like Glengarry Glen Ross, where, you know, even in the movie, it's just set basically in their office, and it's just that interpersonal reaction to one another. So
We did that one, like 8 years ago?
did you
Right.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
bring it back. I would love to see that. I really would. I really would. But for audiences that are now just coming into the realization of Jaws, that were not born, not even in the early aughts, what do you hope that they take away from coming to see this performance?
Entertainment, little art,
Yeah.
trivia, like you said.
Sure.
And go back and watch the movie. It is still great. It still stands up to this day. Jaws is a great movie, and we're just having a blast doing it. And
wonderful.
I mean, this is 21 years we've been working together at Pure Theater. Rodney and Sharon started it 22 years ago, and Sharon's directing. Rodney plays Quint, and so we get to kind of spend this time together. So I feel like it's a celebration of Jaws and a celebration of
loyalty
Pure.
there. That's wonderful. I love hearing that. Well, you can go see The Shark is Broken. It is playing right through February 8th. It is at the Cannon Street Theater downtown, so make sure you get your tickets. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Great to have you. We're back after this.